Ridiculous questions.
Meticulously debated.
This is Tell Me I'm Wrong.
Well, I was happy just last night. I've been losing sight. Citing all the falling fights. What is this if this ain't right? Back again, the monster rights. Losing life until that night. Life never let him lie. Light is my far past his way.
Ho, 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 and Merry Christmas, boys and girls. You are listening to Tell Me I'm Wrong, and this is your main man in the chair, good old jolly old Saint Nick. How are we doing out there?
I'm Josh. I'm going to be debating Santa. Is that you?
Oh, it is. It's the good old man in the red and black and white Santa Claus.
I'm Ryan. I'm here. I'm going to debate. Did you say red and black and white?
Yes, I've got a red and white suit with a black belt and black boots. Thanks for noticing.
Oh,
man.
I was thinking like Santa was going for a uniform change, new alternate unis.
Did you modernize?
No, Mrs. Claus still sews up my suit every year. I get a new one. I'm going on 37 straight new suits.
You've done 37 Christmases?
This will be my 38th. Ho, ho, ho.
Wait, shouldn't you be like working really hard right now?
Every man needs a break, even Santa Claus. Ho, 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 ho.
Seems like a bad time to take a break, if I'm being
Listen,
honest.
I'll put you on the naughty list if you don't shut up, little boy. Moving on. Ho, ho.
All right.
Whoa, geez. That was
Also,
aggressive.
so I mean, while we have you here, Santa, you said that this is your 38th Christmas.
It will be.
What happened to the previous Santa?
Yeah, how did you kill the previous Santa?
Of course, I pushed him off the roof. Ho, ho, ho.
Okay, I mean that's what we thought. We just
Classic trick.
we needed to make sure. So did you get that from any sort of media?
A film, perhaps?
As a matter of fact, I pushed Scott Calvin off the roof.
Okay. Oh, good. Well,
Fantastic.
At least the Calvin administration is out of the Santa office.
That was a real rough time. I do have a question, though. You said this is your 38th. I actually just turned 30 years old, which means you've been Santa my whole life. So one year I asked for a PS2 and you didn't drop it off at my house. You took it to my grandparents' house from Santa so that me and my cousins could share it. And I thought that was a big crock of shit, bud.
Well, Josh, your parents reached out to me that year and thought it'd be best that you learn to share because you were borderline on the naughty list.
Huh.
And this was their attempt to save you. Now you're full-fledged naughty.
Oh.
That's why I haven't been around in about 17, 18 years.
That would explain it. I did, I spiced things up a little bit after that, but no, that makes a lot of sense. I disagree. I think I was a pretty good kid, but if
Santa knows. He sees everything, even when you're sleeping.
He sees you when you're sleeping, Josh. So one more question. Are you just like at Joe's house?
Oh, had to drop in and make sure everything's ready for me. He did get a new house. Those chimneys are getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
Is this a normal service that Santa provides? Just checking in on the new houses?
Listen, boys, Santa has to be ready. He's got to do all that in one night.
So when I move in the future, do I have to put in an address change? Is there like a portal I put that in? How do you know to come scout my house?
No, USPS lets me know.
Oh, wow.
Wow. All right.
Interesting.
So are you and the Postmaster General just like best buds?
We went to college together.
Interesting. That's really fascinating.
Wait, okay. We're getting deep into some Santa lore here, but what college did Santa go to?
USC, University of Santa Claus.
I'm not familiar with that one. Are they?
It's a small liberal arts school in the North Pole.
Of course. Why wouldn't it be? What did you study there? What degree do I need to get in order to become Santa Claus and kill you?
Global geography.
Oh, actually,
right.
That seems fitting.
I mean, that actually
fitting.
kind of tracks. I'm a little disappointed that it wasn't, political science or something.
Well, boys, it's been good talking to you. You got 3 weeks to keep nice. Otherwise, it's naughty for everyone.
I mean, I think this podcast has already proved pretty solidly that we're going to land ourselves on the naughty list.
You're right. I didn't want to tell you this, but you're already on my naughty list. You were after episode 3.
Figures. Well, thank you, Santa. Good to see you.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas to all and to all. Listen to this podcast and subscribe. Good night.
I'm going to text Joe and see what's going on.
Yeah, he probably should know about that. Oh, here he comes.
Hey, sorry, guys. I had to step away and use the bathroom before we got started. Are we ready?
Yeah. Did you not see that guy?
What?
The guy that just left?
What guy?
In the puff of glitter?
There's a guy in my house?
Yeah, he was just talking to us.
What do you look like?
Called
You know
himself.
Don't worry about it.
I think we actually recorded.
It looked like stuff in my living room near my fireplace was all ruffled up.
Yeah, that would track with what we just saw. You know what? Like Ryan said, we just recorded it. So, just check back on the recording. I will say, you just moved in a new house. Did you get a new security system set up yet? Or
I haven't got that hooked up yet. That's on the list.
You might want to do
I'd
that.
probably bump that up to the top.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought we were in a nice part of town.
Wasn't that kind of visitor?
Oh.
I wouldn't worry too much.
I actually, you're not wrong. It would suggest that you are on the nice part of town since he actually came by your house. If you were on the naughty side of town, he probably wouldn't show up.
Well, I do like to think
That's
I'm
true.
a nice guy.
Yeah, you're trying your best, but your sweet little daughter's the nice one.
She is. So, well, that's weird that someone was here because I was just in the bathroom and it was weird. But anyways,
Bathroom or the visitor?
Wait.
Never mind. We talked too much about that last week. Let's move on.
That's true.
Okay, so for this week, we are going to go ahead and just go full-fledged into our holiday spectacular event for Tell Me I'm Wrong. So we're going to go ahead, and last week we did the Christmas potpourri. We did a hodgepodge of debates and probably made some people mad, but whatever, who cares? So this week, we're going to steer in to music. That's right. When people think of Christmas, they think of Christmas carols. So I got an idea for debate. We'll get to that in a little bit, but let's start out. What is your all's favorite Christmas carol? Well, okay. I'll rephrase that. What is your favorite Christmas carol? Like old school song, like Carol of the Bells or Oh Come All Ye Faithful? And then what is your favorite Christmas song? Kind of like Last Christmas or All I Want for Christmas Is You.
That's a very important delineation because they're very different things.
Well, as you guys know, I was a singer in high school. Still am a singer, I guess.
Is that right? Josh, did you know Ryan sang?
I did not know that Ryan sang in high school.
I don't think anyone
This is
knows Ryan
news to
sang.
me.
This is the first time he's told us.
I mean, I was kind of a big deal. I mean, just, all state choir every year.
I think Ryan's mentioned that more times than we have episodes.
But I haven't mentioned it more than Joe has sung, which is really confusing.
Well,
I'm trying to make up for lost time.
But anyway, so I have a large repertoire of Christmas carols, but my personal favorite Christmas carol is God Rest You Merry Gentlemen.
Ooh, good choice.
There's a great choral arrangement of it. There's lots of great versions, but yeah, that is my personal favorite carol. Favorite song would probably be White Christmas, probably the Bing Crosby version. Leah's
Classic.
favorite Christmas movie and maybe favorite movie of all time is White Christmas. I had not seen it before we got married, but I also now have a fondness for the movie. It is fantastic.
I've never seen it.
And it's great. I definitely recommend it. It's on Netflix if you want to watch it. White Christmas, Bing Crosby. It's a wholesome.
which one is that?
It's the
is that
one
the one about
where
every time you ring the bell, an angel gets her wings or something like that?
no, It's a Wonderful Life.
Never seen that one either.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not watching
Have you
those.
seen it?
I
Josh?
haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. Y'all.
They all literally look the exact same.
Okay, no, false. It's a Wonderful Life is a fantastic and wonderful movie, and you need to watch it. And White Christmas, you may not like it as much. It is a musical, but it's a wonderful movie.
Maybe. All right, Josh, save us here. What's your favorite Christmas carol and song?
My favorite Christmas carol by far is a classic, and that is Silent Night.
Yes.
There is nothing better than driving around your car on like a nice, crisp December evening. The sun is down, it's dark, and you got Silent Night going, Christmas lights everywhere. That'll put you right in the Christmas spirit. Heck, I could do that in like January and be right back in that mood.
I thought you were going to say June. January is not that much of a stretch.
Well, that's when people still have their Christmas lights up around here. It's kind of like a 5-month ordeal. Yeah, June. So, listen, I love that song. It is my favorite Christmas carol by far.
And what would be your favorite Christmas song?
My favorite Christmas song by far. And if you know me,
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
No,
only a hippopotamus will do.
Definitely not that one. My favorite by far is a song that has the Christmas spirit, but also a little bit of melancholy to it because I love sad music. And that is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Classic Sad Boy Winter. Which version?
So there's a lot of versions that I like. There's one by the band Copeland that I really love. It's piano based, got a lot of really
Never heard of them.
Cool electronic features. Sam Smith has a fantastic version.
Oh, blah. Sam Smith is terrible.
Sam Smith is great. They are awesome.
That's Sam Smith.
Wait, was Sam Smith just on the podcast?
It sounded just like them.
Pitch perfect.
So my big thing about that song is that it's got that, it puts you in the Christmas mood, but there's just a little tinge of sadness behind it that just really resonates with me during my sad boy winters.
Why can't you just be happy, Josh?
That's a great question, Ryan.
I mean,
by all accounts,
I want to bring it up with your therapist.
Listen, I have. By all accounts, I got, I love my job, love doing the podcast, have great friends, have an awesome girlfriend, love my house. Parents are great. Everybody's great. I should be happy, but there's just something
She's
about being
gonna love that you listed her fourth.
Well, she'll. Anyways, point being, I should be very happy. So, Ryan, I don't know what the answer is. Maybe I just like being a sad boy. You would understand, sensitive boy.
That's true. I am #sensitive boy.
Yes. I the pot calling the kettle black here. So
I would say more like the pot calling the other pot brown.
I'd say it's more like White Christmas calling Miracle on 43rd Street a Christmas movie. They're the exact same.
It's 34th Street.
Whatever.
So shut up.
You all didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you anyways. My favorite carol would be Oh Holy Night. Not Silent Night. Oh Holy Night.
The Groban version.
Oh, that has to be the Groban version. Has to.
Groban.
This is a little bit controversial, but I feel like I am speaking on behalf of most choral music professionals. Josh Groban is not my favorite. He has a little bit too much vibrato and he just needs to calm it down a little bit.
I don't disagree.
He's a great person. I think he's actually really funny as a person. Don't love his voice.
I don't know how he's going to go on with his life.
I would love to debate Josh Groban.
You all should debate who has the better bravado.
Vibrato. Bravado is a different thing.
Exactly. Explain to me what frabato is.
What's frabato?
Listen, you all. Listen to me. I have no musical skill whatsoever.
No, you don't need to explain that, Joe.
People have listened to this podcast, Joe, and you've released more musical material in the recorded format than Josh Groban has since 2003. So
that's actually true. That's a truth fact.
So in sense of full transparency, I've already given my wife her Christmas gift, and I'll tell you why.
Actually, I know because I helped move it.
He did. For Christmas this year, we got a new house, obviously. We talked about that. And she's wanted a stand-up piano ever since I've known her. We'd never had room in our old house. Our old house was pretty small. You guys were both there. Would not have fit. I don't know if y'all know this, but stand-up pianos weigh a lot, and they take up a lot of space, and it would be very hard to sneak a stand-up piano into my house.
It's hard to sneak a stand-up piano anywhere.
So I had to just tell her gift is here now because I got one that was really, really nice, and it needed it. But I'm going to get it tuned up and taken care of and all that for her. So, but anyways, I didn't know she could read music, but she can.
What do you mean? She was in band.
Listen, I don't know. I had a guitar for a couple of years and I played chords, and I thought a lot of people just did that. So,
Joe, did you know the song Wonderwall?
No, actually, I tell you, the person who taught me how to play the guitar when I learned recommended I learn a lot of Hootie and the Blowfish because they use a lot of the same chords and different. No, I'm serious. They're actually really easy to learn.
No, that doesn't surprise me. It's just funny that any teacher would recommend that you learn a bunch of Hootie and the Blowfish.
Well, he knew that I wasn't trying to be a accomplished musician. He was like, if you're just trying to learn how to pick and strum, this would be a great place for you to start.
Pick and strum is a heck of a euphemism for get the ladies.
That's the album of my first title of my first album, Pick and Strum by Joe. Okay, so anyways, my favorite song, 10 minutes later, my favorite song would have to be Do They Know It's Christmas, but not the Wham version. No, it's not Wham. It's artist.
It's everybody.
Really, I don't know. There's like 37 people who sing that song. I do like that song, but I like the version. Have y'all ever seen the movie Daddy's Home 2?
Absolutely not.
I can't say that I have.
Well, you should, because it's actually really good. But Josh, as you know, I'm a big fan of wrestling, as you are. And John Cena is in that movie. And at the end of the movie, they get stuck in this movie theater with the electric off, and they all sing this song to try to bring Christmas spirit. And they start playing that like dramatic drum, the doom, doom, and then he turns around and he goes, "Dang it, it's my favorite song."
How did you know that John Cena was in that movie? I thought you can't see him.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and text Erica once again about a bad joke alert.
Fine, I'll do that. You all continue.
But him, Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, Jonathan Lithgow, and Mel Gibson all sing this song together, and it's awesome.
All right, should we have a topic since we didn't really have one last week?
Yeah, probably. I forgot that that's kind of the point of this podcast.
The whole point of this is we're going to rewrite a carol that everyone, I think, is widely loved, but no one actually knows the majority of the lyrics to it. So I challenged the guys this week to rewrite the 12 Days of Christmas. Now, do you all think, without looking, you could name the 12 Days of Christmas?
Should I try and do it right now?
Go for it.
Okay. Now, you know, I'm going to miss someone in the high numbers. I don't know all the high
Ryan.
Numbers. Okay, here we go. 12 drummers drumming, 11 lords a-leaping, 10 ladies dancing, 9 maids of milk. No, 9 swans.
No, is it
9? What's 9?
Is it 9 pipers piping, or is it
pipers piping?
No.
8 ladies dancing, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
You were kind of close.
I messed up all the top numbers.
Here is the real rundown.
Okay.
12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping, 10 lords a-leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a milking, 7 swans swimming, 6 geese a laying.
So I mixed up 11 and 10.
Yes.
You got ahead of yourself, bud.
Usually I get it, but I have to like sing it to get it. It's like sounding out of work to try to spell it. You have to say it.
The 11, and as we were doing this, I found this as well. 11, 10, and 9, they're kind of interchangeable. Like if you'd said 11 ladies dancing, everybody would be like, "Oh yeah, that's right." Like you can't.
Let's not forget the Christmas episode from The Office where Andy gets Erin, and he gives her all of it. And he's like, "It's not my fault that the first 8 days is like 41 birds."
It's like 37 birds. And that is exactly why it needs to be modernized.
So let's go ahead. We're going to start from in descending order. So we're going to start with number 12. So one guy had evens and one guy had odds. Who had evens?
I had the evens.
All right, Josh, start us out with number 12.
All right. So when we were wanting to talk about modernizing the 12 Days of Christmas, I tried to think of like, what are some things that we all can relate to? Because I'm sure back in the day, everybody related to the Lord's a-leapin', you know, but it's lost its luster. Everybody knew what that was. Now we don't, just like we just proved. So I went with something that there's way too many of, and they need to cut down the numbers of these because it's getting out of hand. And that is 12 pods casting.
No, you have to say it right. 12 pods a casting.
I apologize.
I do. You do know what medium we're on right now, right?
Yes, this is a podcast, but I will take the controversial stance that there are too many of us. We need to thin out the pack a little bit.
There are a lot of them.
I actually think here's the funny thing about that take. Every podcaster 100% agrees. They just think that theirs is the best.
Which we are. We don't go part of the group that needs to be gotten rid of.
No, not at all.
There's too many fantasy football podcasts for one. That needs to go.
Oh my gosh.
And if you host a fantasy football cast, don't even add us because we don't care. We'll just block you because we hate it.
That's not true. Actually, we will take any pub. So like if you want us to come on, I will come on and
yeah, I was gonna say I'll come on and talk about how pointless fantasy football podcasts are and how we don't need any more.
And I'll come on and gladly ask you if you're still a virgin, because if you're hosting a fantasy football podcast, there's a good chance that's correct.
Anyway, we won't say that.
Before we move on at all, Erica just texted me and said that she is not mad about my joke. She's just disappointed. So
okay, that's accurate. Yeah. I also texted Leah during the show, telling her that neither of you have seen White Christmas or It's a Wonderful Life, and she said I can't be friends with you anymore. So we are now just co-hosts, not friends.
Well, my wife probably just doesn't want to talk to me, so she hasn't texted me. Anyways, sad boy. All right. So yeah, let's move on. Let's go with number 11.
As Josh said, we're trying to define, this era of living. And as I was thinking about this, so did everybody back in the day just have like 3 barns full of birds?
Yes.
And it was relatable. And they would be like, oh yeah, I could absolutely give a friend 4 calling birds and 3 French hens. Also, what's the difference between a hen and a French hen?
It's a great question.
Does one smoke? Do we have listeners in France?
Not anymore.
Well, yeah.
Bye, France.
We love you, France. Ryan, what is your number 11?
Okay, number 11. I decided to go with 11 bingers binging. I think I thought the word was a little controversial, but I didn't know a better way to say it within the song context. Mm-hmm. So, binging a podcast or binging a television show on Netflix, I felt like it's one of the defining things of this era. I wanted to make sure there was something about, the streaming culture that we are all in.
It's excessive. We're all about excess these days.
That's right.
I only think I binge nowadays is Scooby-Doo and Coco Melon, but we're not all parents. I remember back in like 2007, Bo McMillan, friend of the podcast, he was on there. He did the dad sitcom TV draft. We were walking around campus at Eastern Kentucky University, which is a small state school here in Kentucky. And it's not small, it's medium sized. But anyways, he proceeded to tell me how Netflix was eventually going to stop sending DVDs out and move to a strictly online service. And I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. So, Bo, I just want to go ahead and just publicly apologize. You were right, and I was terribly wrong.
Way out of bounds.
Sounds like Bo has a little bit more foresight than Joe.
Bo is just very knowledgeable about stuff that I would never know anything about. So
we need to have him back on the show.
We do. Now that you said that does tell me that you were qualified to be Blockbuster CEO in the 2000s. So
that's true.
Congratulations.
No, I miss Blockbuster.
Yeah, you are as smart as the people who ran Blockbuster for 20 years.
Was there anything better than going to Blockbuster on a Friday night and picking out a DVD or game or a VHS or game?
Especially once they started renting games and your parents would get a movie and you would get a video game and you would play till like 3 a.m. a new game that you knew you only had for a day.
You'd go to that N64 section and you were like, oh, what am I getting into tonight?
I was more of an original Xbox renter, but yeah,
that's pretty sad. But anyways, Josh, number 10.
With my number 10 on our modern 12 Days of Christmas, I went with something similar to Ryan that has to do with our new digital age that we live in. And that is 10 posts a bitchin'.
I like this one.
So this is mainly you're just meaning number 10 would be like Facebook, right? Is that what you're implying?
Yeah, Facebook, Twitter, any forum in which people bitch. And so listen, the election just ended. We all know that. And we've seen a lot of stuff on Facebook.
Did it?
Actually, that's a great question. When this episode comes out,
I take that back. I think it's ended. See. I just think people haven't accepted that yet.
Yeah, that's a better point. So, listen, we've seen a lot of bitching. We've seen a lot of people saying they're going to leave platforms to go to other platforms, then not actually leaving them so they can continue bitching on the platforms they were bitching on before because they...
Shout out to everybody listening on our new Parler embed.
Yeah, shout out to all you Parler people who are back on Facebook, on my Facebook, complaining. Good for you. I'm glad that your complaints went unheard on your new platform, so you had to return to the old stomping grounds to fill everybody's feed with your nonsense. Now... I think there's nothing more modern than including this on the list, and especially at the number 10 spot because there are so many of these posts. The best way, listen, if y'all really want to bitch, just get a podcast. It has really worked out for us. I would highly encourage it. And you'll clear up everybody's feed.
And then I don't have to hear it.
Yeah, exactly. We can choose to listen to it or not.
Listen, we'll subscribe to help you get those downloads, but you probably won't listen.
Yeah, we're not going to listen.
I won't download,
if you haven't subscribed yet, please do it. All right, so we got 10 post a bitchin'. Ryan, we've said that word so many times this podcast.
We got that E-tag. We got that E-tag. Listen, if we can't say bitchin' on a podcast, what's even the point?
Exactly.
It just makes me think of like a surfer. Like, how's the break today? It's bitchin', man.
Yeah.
One time I went to a bar wearing a denim jacket and someone told me my jacket was bitchin', and I have worn that every day since, basically. So it's powerful.
This is actually true. If you look at our new promo photos, you can see that Josh
the bitchin' denim jacket. You're actually right.
That he decided he was gonna wear that denim jacket immediately.
Mid-July, when it's 91% humidity and 104 degrees outside here in Kentucky, Josh has that jacket on because he thinks it makes him look cool. And as he sweats through the jacket.
We have got to move quicker.
All right, Ryan.
Number 9, it's unavoidable. I don't love that this is something I had to include, but I felt obligated, and that is 9 TikTok dances because they are pervasive and you can't get away from them. It used to be Fortnite dances, but I had to change that because that is already a dated reference.
What is it Will Ferrell says on the Kanye West song? It's provocative, and it made me think when you said
it's provocative, gets the people going.
That's right. When you said persuasive, that's what made me think of it. It's provocative and it gets the people going.
For a little background in what kind of tastemakers we are, Ryan actually texted me while we were each individually making up our list, and he said, "Is flossing still a thing?" And I had to inform him that no, it is not, and you should probably do something else.
I've tried so hard to do that, and I just can't.
Tried to be floss or tried to be relevant?
Well, both. I've never been relevant since 1987. I've never been relevant.
Well, speaking of people trying to be relevant, my number 8 is something that is also pervasive on social media and you cannot escape, and that is 8 Huns a-sellin'.
Okay, so what I first read this, I pictured, for some reason, nuns.
Well,
that's way better.
And I was like, how is this updated? How many nuns do you know?
A lot of them, and they're all selling stuff, particularly skincare products. So I had to go with this one. If you're not familiar with this phrase, the Huns.
Not Attila.
This is not a history podcast.
If you're not familiar with these people, they are the people who latch on to these multi-level marketing scams, your Rodan and Fields, your various shakes of types, your patches, Young Living, your oils.
Lululemon, or is it LuLaRoe?
Lululemon's actually a good product. LuLaRoe is the not good product. All these things, they are the people who message you on Facebook and they say, "Hey, you want to join my team? You want to join my team?"
Your friends from high school who randomly reach out and you're like, "Oh, why are they talking to me?" It's because they're trying to sell you something.
That girl who was mean to you in high school is now trying to sell you skincare products, and she hopes you're doing good, girl. It's that type of person. So I had to make sure to include 8 Huns a-sellin'.
That was oddly specific, Josh.
Look,
he's absolutely right.
There's so many of them. And so first off, I want to say a couple things. 1, stop. Just stop. Just stop. You're wasting your money. You're wasting other people's money. All you're doing is hurting people.
Also time.
Secondly, we know you're using other makeup in your makeup videos. Don't try to fool people. It's not your cheap makeup. You're using real makeup. Thirdly, I need to tell you about my former neighbor who lived across the street and sold pure romance. And every year at Christmas, she would get enough product to fill a storage unit that she would put in her driveway. So I called it her dildo shed. And that's all I've got to add to that. So that's 8 Huns a-sellin'.
And now our podcast can end because Josh just needed some format to be able to say dildo shed.
It took me 31 episodes, but I finally got to say the words dildo shed, and I am retiring.
And that's a wrap.
Thanks, guys. It's been fun. We're actually not going to finish the song. We just wanted to go to get that one word.
We're done.
All right. Number 7, right before we go to the monitor's office. So 7 hours scrolling because I think all of us are connected to our phones way too much. I haven't watched Social Dilemma yet because I don't want to be depressed about how much the world owns me. But I was trying to decide between doom scrolling and just hours scrolling. And I thought 7 hours scrolling just described everyone. Doom scrolling seems to have been something more like 2020 specific. And I was trying to go a little bit more general.
You're trying to be optimistic.
To just everyone.
No, I like that.
Right.
I like that
so,
one.
Yeah, it could be positive scrolling. Hopefully we have some non-doom scrolling in our future.
That's only for Pinterest. Positive scrolling.
I like that. Okay. Well, let's head to the mod office and we'll get some bills paid and then come back and finish out this wonderful, wonderful tune of 2020.
All right, as you know, this month our friends from Device Pit Stop have teamed back up with us to let you know about all the cool products that they have available for the holiday season. If you're looking to get a new computer, new cell phone, new whatever for your kid or yourself, head over to devicepitstopky.com and see what they have for you. Personally, I am in the market for a new laptop, and I think I'm going to have to check out devicepitstopky.com because I know how good it's been for Joe. I know how good it's been for the products I've bought from them in the past. I know that I'm going to get a killer deal from them. On top of that, I also know that I'm going to get 10% off with the promo code TMIW. So if you go over there, type in that promo code TMIW, you get an extra 10% off their already fantastic prices. Now, look, maybe you're not in the market for a new device, but you just need to get a little extra scratch to buy some Christmas gifts. Well, they've also got that under control for you. You can visit them with your device that's lightly used and is good shape, and they can pay you cash or give you in-store credit for that device. So make sure that you get your loved one something special, get a little extra cash, and make sure you're getting the best price possible by joining our friends over at devicepitstopky.com. Use the promo code TMIW, tell them we sent you, and tell them thank you for the amazing gift you were able to get your mother. Thanks.
Just to add a little bit to what Josh said, we do love Device Pit Stop. We're very thankful for them sponsoring us this week. The other thing you can do for us is to go ahead and give us a follow, subscribe, rate and review, 5 stars. Let us know how great we're doing on iTunes, Spotify, whatever you're listening on. That helps us to get our name out in front of some other people and grow the podcast, which can in turn help to improve the podcast. We do have some new graphics rolling out and also new photos, so definitely check that out. We worked really hard on those and hope you all like them. And just, it's very important. If you all could just tell one friend over the holiday season, people have time where they're wrapping gifts and doing whatnot, and they have the ability to maybe listen to something new. And we'd love it if they give an opportunity to listen to us, just talk about the stupidest things. But we would love for y'all to share our show with one friend. That would really help us out more than anything else you can know. Let's get back to this. Let's figure out the last 6 clues, and I think I have something special planned for you. All right, guys. Well, we are back, and we burned through the first 6. Let's get through these next 6 really quick, and I've got something special planned at the end for the guys to do, or well, for a guy to do, whoever wants to do it. So, Josh, you're evens. Let's start out number 6. Let's get us going here.
All right. Now, this is going to go hand in hand with my number 10, which was 10 posts of bitchin', and that is 6 men-splaining. Look, far be it from me, a white male on this podcast, to, lecture other men about mansplaining. But look, we get it. You're cool. I'm guilty. I'm pretentious as they come. I like to talk about the cool band I saw before anybody else and all the cool stuff that I like. But look, I just need you all to realize that, you're not that smart. You don't need to talk to us. And we don't need you to keep explaining things to us.
I think if we can accomplish one thing with this episode, men, just don't explain things to women unless they ask you.
Yeah, just keep it to yourself.
Also, you probably don't know what you're talking about.
Take it from us, 3 men who made a show so we could talk to people without anybody interrupting us except for the 3 of us on this podcast. Stop explaining stuff to people and stop talking. In retrospect, this was a terrible pick.
I think that's a great pick, but I do think my wife would change it, and she would change it to 6 men spreading, because she complains about man spreading all the time, and I'm terrible at it. I get it. So let's move on, because I got a lot of anxiety, and it's very triggering for me. So. Ryan, let's get going.
All right,
5.
so I felt like 5 was very important.
I was going to say, this is the most important part of the song.
This may be the most important number, which is weird.
It's the hinge. It's the hinge of the song, and so I also wanted it to be in the right rhythm. Since we're gonna, it's a song, we're gonna be singing it. So I wanted to make sure that it sounded correct. So I had to get the right syllables and things. So I went with 5 vintage things. because I needed the right cadence. And that is because the vintage, it seems like it's been something that has been around, for a bit, people, thrifting and stuff like that. And I went with things mainly because I wanted it to rhyme with rings. If I'm just being honest, I felt like it was important as the hinge of the song.
I think that's a good one as someone who loves vintage things. So
I was going to say, and Josh can't say anything because he was the inspiration behind this pick.
Well, that's funny because I'm also the inspiration behind my pick for number 4.
I would say me and you are like number 1, number 2 for this pick.
And that is 4 local brews. Now, this can pertain to 4, local beers, but it also pertains to 4 local breweries because every single town in America, big, small, has at least 4 local breweries at this point, I'm pretty sure.
Or some guy that's making it in his bathtub.
And listen, that's fine too.
I have a friend who listens. Shout out to Noah. He is brewing his own beer in California.
Now, I love a local brew. Listen, if you have an IPA that tastes like trash with a little bit of orange scent in it and you call it Neon Moon or something, I'm going to be drinking it. I'm going to be saying it's great. I'm just that kind of guy. Back to my number 6 pick for 6 minutes Blaining. Now, I live up to the stereotype. I understand that. I don't care. Some people like to drink Coors Light. I like to drink stuff that doesn't taste good to 90% of Americans, but I can try to convince them that it does. That's just the way we are.
I like that you have to sell it by saying I have to try to convince them.
I understand my limited powers on this one. But I'm going to try nonetheless.
All right. Next pick goes kind of along also with the inspiration of Josh Ballard as a person. And that is 3 swipe rights. I know many friends. I've actually been to at least 3 different Tinder marriages. Mm-hmm. So I know that it is out there and people are using it. I felt like it's something that we have to bring up as part of culture right now, and that is 3 swipe
I'm in
rights.
a Tinder relationship.
There you go.
Listen, it works.
The swipe right is it's part of culture now.
Also, once again, we would be making a big mistake if we did not shout out once again all my sister's Tinder matches. Thank you for sticking along with us. You all are really helping us out. Thank you for joining the bandwagon. And although it didn't work out, and I'm so sorry.
There's still a benefit.
If you all do match, we may give you a shout out next week. A personal shout out.
We'll start shouting out all the boys that match with my sister.
That's actually going to be the new segment. Brandy's boys.
Shout out Chad.
Brandy, we haven't discussed any of this with you. I hope you're okay with it.
She's fine. All right. For my number 2 and my last pick, it's an election year. We have seen the ills of this country. I know.
Was there an election?
And a lot of people are decrying it. And so as part of this, I'm thinking, we want this to become outdated. We want to progress as a society. And so we want the things that are in here to eventually disappear and have to be replaced with all new modern things. And so that's why I'm throwing in the 2-party system.
I feel like this also could have been in the first version.
Look, it could have. It's been around so long, but we need options.
How old it is. So this is you firing a shot and saying, we're going to put this in this song so that it will become outdated.
Listen here, America. We need to shape up. We need less dildo sheds and we need more political parties. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if more political parties are the answer. I think maybe new political parties would be a more appropriate thing we need.
I'm all for more.
Unfortunately, I think there's too much money in the 2 we have now, so they're not going anywhere.
I mean, the most important part of that is decreasing the number of dildo sheds. I'm a one issue voter.
I feel like, honestly, I kind of want more dildo sheds around just because it's something that, it'll be funny. And
you heard it here first.
Are they moving or are they having a pure romance party? You never know. I mean,
you never know. If they're moving, I'm even more concerned personally.
It's also crazy to me to think that December she sold that much to have a pod of adult toys to store that much. She sold that much.
Listen, you got to have a makeshift retail store. You don't want that in your house.
I just didn't know that was a hot Christmas gift item. I mean, we talked about what's at Brookstone that's available, but I didn't know.
Well, I think it all comes down to semantics. There's a big difference between a dildo shed and a dildo basement. I don't think we've got time for that on this podcast.
I do want to be in that family meeting where you open that gift and there is a large purple eggplant in the box.
So
And,
we get to the last one, and when Josh chose the evens, I did not realize that I would be picking the two most important numbers, which is 5 and 1.
I set you up.
And so this was a hard one. I felt like I couldn't. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't super happy with my pick, and I feel like it could be improved, but it was something that I felt like fit the era, and it sounded good in the cadence of the song. And that is, and some foam art in a coffee.
Man, you are right up my alley.
And so, listen, I love good foam art. I was a barista, so I felt like, local coffee shop foam art. I tried to.
You
get
were
it
in
all there.
choir in high school and a barista in college.
I was.
Man.
I was also in choir in college.
Defying the odds, man. Well, I think that brings us to the end of our list.
We are through 12 terrible
12
days.
great days.
And I honestly, originally when I pitched this idea, I asked you all where you would buy these things and how you would give them as gifts. And I don't think you can actually give.
We wanted to give us
any
a
of these things as
commentary
gifts.
on,
Well, I take that
on
back.
the society right now.
You could give 4 local brews
5 vintage things
and some 5
foam
vintage
art and
things
coffee.
and some foam art and a coffee. So you could give 3 of these things as a gift. The other
But
ones
you
would have to
also,
just
who's
explain
going
to
to
people how to
give
be horrible
11
human beings.
Lords of Leaping or whatever it is?
Well, that's why it's
Exactly.
outdated. But I do think you all nailed making it outdated not too far down the road. So we do have one surprise. We were actually going to have someone sing this song. I requested the boys to do a duet, but I don't know if that's going to work out. So we'll have at least one person. I'll give you a guess who sang in the past. Who
Joe, are you
sang
singing it?
growing up? They may be the person singing it. I asked to sing it, but I was vetoed.
I don't
on
think
that.
anybody
So
wants to hear that.
I think everybody wants to hear that. I would sing it like Josh Groban.
You
for
raised
sure.
me up, bud.
But also, have y'all noticed there's only one version of this they ever put on the radio? And it's like a choir. Why has no one else covered this?
It's because nobody wants to re-record singing the same lyrics over and over and over. That's why this recording of me singing it will be just once all the way through from the top.
The pop. Just think about this. If you're a pop artist who's sort of well known, I'm trying to think. If you're a Daniel Powder or something like that, you record this, and you're going to get airtime.
That's
you
true.
have no other competition.
So what you're saying is, now that we have a modern version of this, we need to go pitch it to young artists and see if they'll.
Who's an artist right now who will go to Sam Smith and be like, "You're okay. We can get you to great. We have a song for you."
All right. Well, here it goes. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 pods of casting, 11 bingers bitching, 10 posts of bitching, 9 TikTok dances, 8 Hansa hustling, 7 hours scrolling, 6 men splaining, 5 vintage things, 4 local brews, 3 swipe rights, 2 party system, and some foam art in a coffee.
That's beautiful.
Excellent.
That was absolutely. I got tears in my eyes right now from the beauty of that song.
Encouraged me in a way that only Josh Groban has been able to do.
I am glad that I was able to unseat the Groban.
So I do love that you all nailed the melody of it.
Not melody.
And it fit perfectly. Well, I'm not, but your
He means
choices like
cadence.
Cadence. Okay, we established.
I'm just helping you out.
Your bravado is
I
great
appreciate
on that
it.
song.
So, okay,
Brian.
well, this is
And also my vibrato or whatever Joe said.
yes, Frabado.
Frabato.
Okay, this is tough because you all both picked really good, but then Ryan sang, and that's really good.
I don't know that I want that to factor in. I will. I want to make sure that this is still an even. I mean, I know that my beautiful singing voice can sway a lot of decisions, and so I want to make sure that this is still a fair fight for Josh.
So when I'm looking through this, my thought is which will tire out fast, which will be the thing in the future that we're like, God, I can't believe they put that.
I think
in
that's
song.
a great perspective to judge from. Sorry, I won't interrupt the music again.
No, you're good. You're good. So first thing that jumps off to me I don't think podcasts are going anywhere. I think 9 TikTok dances. Unfortunately, I think people are going to bitch even more on the internet going forward. So I think that's going anywhere. And binging's only going to get worse because every channel, everything in the world has its own streaming software. So it's stupid. I might as well just get cable. So 9 TikTok dances is the first thing that pops out to me. Unfortunately, I don't think MLMs are going anywhere either. Scrolling, I like to scroll. I scroll through YouTube all the time. Mansplaining. Look, guys, the women's revolution is moving. It's on the way up. Hopefully, this will keep men from splaining. I try just not to say anything to my wife because when I do give her instructions, I'm terrible at conveying that and I just get yelled at. So I don't explain anything. 5 vintage things. They will be outdated by the time this song in the future because they're vintage. They're supposed to be. So that's 4 local brews. They're probably flat by that point. Skunk, so it won't matter. 3 swipe rights. A 2-party system, and some foam art in a coffee. Now, the foam art's not going anywhere. I hope we're not still using Tinder in 100 years, wherever we're going forward. And unfortunately, I don't think the 2-party system is going anywhere. But I look at this, and there's one thing that sticks out to me that will just be gone. And that I'll look back and be like, oh, I can't believe they did that. And I think that one thing is TikTok dances. Ryan, you are the 12 Day of Christmas champion.
Thank you.
Josh, I hate everything that you chose. And I think they're all great picks. But unfortunately, I don't think they're going anywhere.
You picked a song that was too timeless.
I think we're stuck with podcast, which we're not stuck with. I love podcast. We're stuck with people bitching on Facebook and Twitter. We're stuck with women trying to get a side hustle, as they call it, going and making money on stuff that no one wants to buy. Men are never going to stop mansplaining and men spreading.
I
hope beer doesn't go away. I enjoy beer.
I made a mistake. You're right. I went with the timeless art route, and I should have known my audience because, someone as esteemed as you who loves timeless art like Daddy's Home 2, I should have known better than to pick something that would be timeless. I had to pick something that would be ephemeral.
We did say to replace it with something that would be outdated as well in the future.
Like Daddy's Home 2. But look, guys, I gotta level with you. We're getting to the end of the year, and I think it's, we're going to have to make resolutions at some point. I've been losing a lot. I can't win on this show.
Yeah, I think you're well behind.
I honestly think you would win more debates if you actually did the debate.
I'm trying to be creative. I'm trying to go against the tide. I'm trying to set myself apart.
Maybe it's time you stop trying to make your own path and just follow the path that Joe and I have forged.
Josh, if it makes you feel any better, some of the ones I've won, I thought, well, Josh probably should have won that.
Listen, I agree. That's most of them.
But it doesn't count. But if you want a moral victory, you could be a millennial and have it. We'll get you a trophy.
That's very kind of you, Joe. I'm just saying, I need to figure this out. I'm going to get in 2021, I'm going to get my head straight.
Will you post a video on Instagram of you sitting on a pier or staring off into the ocean and doves fly and you're deep in thought, stoically sitting there?
I think it is far past due for me to have a training montage.
Yes. Yes. I'm all in on that.
So I'm going to need to get on that. It's training montage sign. I'm going to come out in 2021. I'm going to close out 2020 strong. First off, in 2021, I'm coming out. I'm going to catch up with you guys. I'm just telling you now.
Alrighty. Thank everybody for listening. We really appreciate it. As always, I want to thank Isle of 8 for the use of our theme song, Jean Jacket. You can check them out anywhere you find great music.
Make sure you head on over to Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook and give us a follow at TMIWPod. And you can use the hashtag TMIWPod to send us your debate topics, give us some different days of Christmas, and tell us your favorite scene from Daddy's Home 2. Also, as I said earlier, it really helps us a ton if you can go ahead and subscribe, rate, and review. Give us that 5-star review on iTunes, Spotify, whatever you're listening on. It really just helps us to grow our numbers and reach more people and hopefully put a better product out. And that's our ultimate goal. And just over the Christmas holiday, the best gift you could give us is to tell a friend. That would be the best thing you can do for us is tell a friend. And we don't pay to advertise anything like that. So just telling one friend would be the best gift we could ask for.
If you head over to tmiwpod.com, you can find all sorts of ways to connect with us. You can send us a message. You can find our social media. You can listen to episodes. You can do all that stuff there. And also, there's a new link on there that if you click that, takes you to a Google form where you can sign up to join our powerful team of pure romance salesmen here on TMIW Pod. So if you join our team and join our downline, you will help us out a ton. So head over there and find that. And sell some great products with us. I'm gonna have to get a dildo shed.
Also, keep a lookout for that 12 Days of Christmas music video dropping sometime soon.
Oh, for sure. Absolute fire.
We again want to say thank you to our sponsor, Device Pit Stop, for their investment in the show. As always, there is one winner, but we're all losers. Later, losers.
See ya.
Oh, holy night, these stars are bright and shining.